The King Kong game that is entangled with the 2005 movie directed by Peter Jackson. And I'm pretty sure he had a big part in making this game as well. I don't know, probably he wasn't involved in any of the like actual making of the game, but he was definitely there for the story beats. This is a very interesting part of gaming back in the old consoles, where literally every movie that came out had to have a game attached. And most of the time, these games are just flat, just boring, and just there to pad out time. Like Chicken Little, which adds these stupid levels that were never in the movie, these stupid arcade Space Invader ripoffs that are just there to flat out the time and are just a waste of time. This game does that. It does a lot of padding out the time of the movie, since it's only 2 hours and this game is like 4 hours long. But it does it in a better way. Like, this game actually adds more content and develops Skull Island way more, adding more creatures and more areas, and just does it in a better and interesting way. I do think this game would have benefited a lot from more variants in enemies. Like towards the 2 to 3 hour mark, they kind of start reusing the same enemies. You know, there's these giant centipedes and scorpions and these vampire bats, which is really cool in the beginning hour in the game, and then they kind of start reusing the same enemies over and over again. Especially this giant T-Rex thing. I get it, like the T-Rex. I mean, where do you go from a T-Rex? But they kind of just used that a little too much. Like the T-Rex was super cool. The sense of scale, you know, running from it, like just shooting it, and like it's so scary because it's super fucking big, which is incredible for how old this game is and the consoles it was on. But the sense of scale, but they kind of reuse it just a lot. You have to fight him as King Kong, you have to fight him as the people about 5 or 6 times. It kind of gets old. But towards the beginning there, the T-Rex sessions were really cool, running away from this giant thing. I kind of preferred playing as the humans rather than King Kong in this game as well. I really like the gun gameplay in this game. I really love the reloading animations, like how he puts the bullets back in individually. That is really impressive for a game like this. PS2 game, like from 2005 or so, like putting actual gun animations and actual him reloading the bullets in, that's quite impressive. You know, they usually didn't do that back then. Even COD didn't even do that. But like I was saying, I didn't really prefer playing as King Kong, which you think would be the obvious thing to prefer to play as in the King Kong game. But yeah, I prefer to play as the humans in this game. King Kong's gameplay is a little irritating, you know, it's the same basic crap. It's the enemies gang up on you, it's just you kill them in the exact same way. You know, this is an old console, so it's a bit dumb to expect these things from this, but you know, it does get old. I did like playing as King Kong in the end section of the game when you're in New York. That bit was fun because you're overpowered. These people kind of shit to you. You're overpowered. You know, you're just bashing them. It's pretty fun. When you're playing as them in the jungle and these fucking dinosaurs just keep coming at you, and they gang up on you, it's annoying. It really does get tedious. But yeah, I did prefer playing as the people. And you know, that's another surprising thing, is they brought most of the actors in here to play like the characters again. Like Jack Black is in here. He gives it his all as usual. The guy's a fucking absolute Chad, you know. But most of these actors are not really caring here. I do like the fucking captain guy. He's running it here as well. You know, it's nothing special, but he is putting in some work here. But the The guy who plays Jack, whatever his name is, Jack Ballsack, or whatever his fucking name is. The guy from The Pianist, the Jew who plays the piano. Basically, the guy has like 5 lines. No, even that, not even 5. This guy has 2 lines like, oh, don't worry, I've got ammo, on backup. That's the whole lines he does. Like, oh, don't worry, I've got ammo. That's the only fucking line he ever does, and it's like the most unenthusiastic fucking voice line ever. So it's kind of just funny to hear it every time. Especially when the other characters aren't even saying about his gun, like he's just randomly saying it out of the blue, you know. It's just kind of stupid. But this sense of scale in this game, like, so amazing, so ahead of its time. This is a PS2 game. I know this is kind of late PlayStation 2 era, where this game also came out on the Xbox 360, came out on the PS3. So it's more of a PS2 port, but this is an amazing port. Like, it runs pretty well, and like the amount of scale, the massive dinosaurs playing as King Kong, like, it's just really cool. It's just, I wish more modern games were like this. You never really see games like this anymore. But, you know, I wish games like this stuck around longer, you know, where it's just a sense of scale and you're this tiny little thing and you're running away from giant dinosaurs. Like, fucking, like, what are those Jurassic fucking Park games that come out where you're playing as a fucking guy and you're managing, like, a park? Like, who fucking wants to do that? No, mate, I want to get chased by a giant fucking dinosaur. Like, this game fucking gives you that, and most games nowadays just doesn't have that sense of scale that this game does, and I love that. And the gameplay in this game is good, and I've played World at War, Call of Duty on PS2, and I've got to say the gun gameplay is pretty good. I think it might actually be better than the COD game. I think it might even be better. Like, the reloading is just so animated, and I think it's actually better than the COD World at War for the same console, you know. Like, definitely. Like I said, I did like playing as King Kong towards the end of the game in the city. Spoiler alert, he fucking dies. Oh, who saw that fucking coming? But it is really cool to see that, and it's really cool just to see the story beats. But like I said, most of the games that like drag off the story are just filling and padding out time in these horrible, ridiculous ways, like Chicken Little with the Space Invader mission. You know what I mean? Like, who fucking asked for that? This game, you're fucking getting down and dirty with these centipedes and these fucking scorpions, and it just lets you absolve the Skull Island mare, and you get to, it actually adds on to the movie. You know what I mean? It actually adds on to the feeling that the movie gives you, just 10 times more. So that is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. This game is a pretty fucking solid game. Like, probably a really ambitious, really ahead of its time. Peter Jackson was heavily involved in the production and the story and just the game in general, which you just don't see anymore. You just don't see these Hollywood directors when there is a game. You just don't see game movies anymore. Most of them were shite back then anyway, but you did get a good couple gems like this, which were just amazing. But you just don't see this much love and attention to a game movie like this. And it is amazing to see a director, you know, really, you know, bring his own vision even to this game. So it's amazing that he was heavily involved in the production here, because a lot of love and care is obviously putting into this game, and the gameplay and everything, and it is just really amazing to see. Like, you just don't see games like this anymore, you know. It's a shame, but you just don't. And this game, I would probably give an 8.5 out of 10. We're going to deduct 5 points away, so we are 8 points because of how bad this character model for Jack Black is. This is criminal.